Welcome back to Seen It Before, where we're probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie because we've seen it all before. I'm Danny.
I'm Dan. I just realized my glasses are dirty as hell. Anyway, don't worry, darlings. We are back for season 5, and you knew I was going to do that, and you hated every second.
No, I didn't see it coming, and just like...
No, you did. I told you.
I should expect it of you.
You should
know?
really expect it of me.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're Seen It Before. Let's get to some quick housekeeping. Like and subscribe on YouTube. TikTok, Instagram with the TikTok and Instagram, right?
TikTok and Instagram.
Aha! Yeah. TikTok and Instagram with the handle at Seen It Beforecast. That's SCENE, It Beforecast. And on Twitter with the handle SIB_pod. Yeah, that's cool.
That's us.
That's us. And so yeah, don't worry, darling. This week we got some things to talk about with that movie. There's a lot of controversy around that movie and everything. We're gonna get into all that stuff. Anything you want to preview for this?
I just want to get to the controversy stuff, and like the actual movie is not the main talking point, that the main takeaway from this podcast that I'm trying to get to. I'm more interested in the controversy.
I'm glad we didn't even plan this. Like, I just went into a deep dive on the controversy. I'm just like, oh shit, you want to talk about that too? Okay.
Well, we're gonna talk about the movie too, but like most of this whole story is to do with the behind the scenes stuff.
All the controversy and whatnot. Anyway, let's just get to it. All right. So before we get into all this controversy stuff, 2 sex scenes. That's it.
So we had this thing going on when the trailer came out, because they would constantly play this in the theaters. We were like going to see other movies. Yeah. We would count the amount of sex scenes in the trailer. And it turns out...
Try to guess how many are actually in the movie.
Yeah, we saw oh, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, so maybe?
It's kind of like 2.5. It's like not really it's like a tense moment that really shouldn't be.
It's sort of like a... almost non-consensual, but, you know.
Almost.
Yeah.
It doesn't
go there, but, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get to that in a little bit, but let's start with this controversy.
Yes. Well, actually, so give me the whole rundown of like things, like from like the inception of the film to like the or like the press meetings and stuff.
Here we go. So it first, I think, started with the original actor that was supposed to be Harry Styles' character was Shia LaBeouf. He was originally cast in this movie and kind of left under weird circumstances. According to Olivia Wilde, it was like, what was it?
There's something.
It was her. Okay.
He had like sexual assault allegations to him, right?
Yes.
And then she's like, according to her, she's like, I stand for women. I don't want that in the movie, right?
She kind of said his process in rehearsing and stuff like that was like a combative type of energy. And she didn't like believe it was right for the performances and everything. And ultimately, for people to do their best work, she wanted like a different kind of environment than he was bringing. But on the flip side, Shia LaBeouf is like, he's a little confused at her narrative of that he was fired. It's that he left. He quit, walked off.
Right.
Because the actors and him could not find time to rehearse at all. Like they had like no time.
And it was because of like just conflicting schedules, or like just they were on set and they just like couldn't rehearse, you know?
That it didn't really delve. I couldn't really find anything deeper than that. There were text messages and emails released, but I didn't feel like going into all that nonsense.
So this sounds like for the first time, like this is like a weird explanation of like what creative differences is. Mm-hmm. You know, like Olivia Wilde's like it's. I mean, I knew it from everybody knows it's always some sort of like political like thing going on behind the scenes, like this person said this said that.
It's again, he said, she said. So
they're both trying to save face.
Yes,
I assume they're both like the bad guys in the situation because, you know.
Yeah. So then the next piece of that is, well, this is kind of like a standard in Hollywood about males getting paid more than females. So I'm pretty sure this is just like I noticed. I don't think this is like specific, but like. I heard somewhere that Harry Styles got paid like $10 million for his role, and Florence Pugh only got $2 million as lead actress. So that's just that should not be a thing.
I don't understand how it works.
Pay gap.
This is like the same thing with women's sports versus male sports. The NFL or the NBA is such a bigger organization to the WNBA.
Yes.
And the argument has always been this organization brings more money in compared to this other organization where they get paid less. That makes sense to me. But at this rate, between Harry Styles and Florence Pugh, I think they're two of the
equal.
most. They should at least be equal, if not like just like really close to their. Because Florence Pugh, most women are going to see it for Harry Styles. I think most men are going to see it for Florence Pugh.
I think it's kind of both, honestly. And
I mean, yeah, Sepp is like the two hottest people on the planet, right?
Yeah, I mean Harry Styles. Yeah, the women guys don't give a fuck.
I think it's just Harry Styles. He's Harry Styles, and then Florence
It's
Pugh
the name.
is like still sort of up and coming. Of like she hasn't headlined like a big blockbuster yet, and Harry Styles has headlined multiple tours in his area of film. So on some level, I understand it, but like I don't think it should be that big of a gap. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
2 million to 10 million. Like, come on.
Exactly. And then the other thing that I noted or that I read was that Florence Pugh was at the premiere of this movie, but she did not do the interview afterwards. She is not promoting this movie whatsoever.
I heard there was some conflict between her and Olivia Wilde.
I don't know exactly what that is, but apparently there's a story that Florence Pugh was mad at Olivia Wilde, and this is according to a Variety article I read, that Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles were disappearing for long amounts of time.
I wonder what they were doing.
And which could also go to, which wouldn't really make sense with the Shia LaBeouf thing because they couldn't find time to rehearse. Why don't they just rehearse while they were gone?
That's a good point.
That's a good point there. Apparently, the difficulties, it was resolved, and
well, between Shia LaBeouf and Olivia Wilde, or is he?
I don't see this article isn't making much sense to me right now. I think it's just an unknown thing of why Olivia Wilde and Florence Pugh are kind of.
I heard
combatant.
I heard. This is all through TikTok, of course, because that's where I get most of my news.
That's where I'm going to go next, but keep going.
I saw an old kind of handheld video of Olivia Wilde kind of like criticizing Florence Pugh in whatever movie.
Yeah.
And then, so the narrative that the TikTok was trying to put together was that Florence Pugh found this video during filming after she was already hired. And she's like, yeah, I don't like this. And then there's a conflict between her and the director. And then, she's noticeably absent from all the press for this movie. Mm-hmm. So it's very interesting.
Like she could blame that on, say, another movie she's working on or something, but she hasn't come out and said any of that.
I feel like she's. Well, I mean, I stand with Florence Pugh on the whole issue. I just like her better compared to Olivia Wilde, and I'm totally fine with being like biased in that opinion. You know. See,
I'm not biased either way. Yes, I love Florence Pugh. I don't know too much about Olivia Wilde other than she directed Booksmart, but
I heard it was okay.
I saw it. It wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad. But so I have nothing against her either. I'm just trying to find out like what's going on with this. Like there's so much controversy and like publicity, but is there such thing as bad publicity for this kind of a movie? Because it's getting people to go see it. That's the thing. Like TikTok, Twitter, all these sources giving them free publicity for all these publicity stunts, or if it's real, who knows?
I mean, but it's too many isolated incidents to seem like it's a campaign, you know?
Like, yeah,
this is weird, outlandish things.
The Florence Pugh thing, yeah, that totally makes sense that there's like some kind of rivalry type thing or whatever.
And then Olivia Wilde's coming out and was like, oh no, I've always loved her. I hired her because she's a great actress, blah, 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 trying to save face again. I think Olivia Wilde is like kind of the enemy in this whole story. Mm-hmm. That's just how it seems. Mm-hmm. Because
that's how it's made to seem. Publicity.
I mean, what? She's hooking up with Harry Styles.
Yes, exactly. That's another thing that happened. So there's the whole thing with her divorce from Jason Sudeikis. There's that.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Like, there's all this publicity going towards her.
Dick move for him to do that.
Yeah.
But like, we don't know the behind the scenes. She could be awful. Exactly. I'm just saying, it's a possibility.
We don't know anything about this. So like, this is obviously it's all your opinion, and mine is like I'm just like I don't know which way to go.
You're like I'm not agreeing with this guy.
I'm not playing sides, but Yeah, Harry Styles and her are now dating. That's the whole thing.
Which is weird, man. That's like almost as weird as the
Leo?
Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson thing. That just seems weird to me.
I'm just going to say Leo dating anyone under the 25.
Oh, yeah, Leo dating anyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how that's been like a meme recently that's just like come up. Like, yeah, I knew this for like a while.
Anyway. But do you think like there's bad publicity for this movie? Like, I don't think so. I think it's going to get more people to see it.
I will say this. I think people are going to see it, so they're going to get their money, but it's going to be hate watched or memed about because every TikTok I see about this movie, it's like it always it's mostly shitting on Harry Styles. Ironically, it was like because people don't think he's a good actor, and I don't think he's horrible. I think he's okay, after seeing this movie. But like, this is like his first chance to like really show what he can do. And I just get Harry Styles vibes.
We're gonna get into that in just a minute.
And even the teenage girls who used to be One Direction fans are like shitting on him because it's like, oh my god, he's acting. He has an outburst. Like, I didn't think it was that bad, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the bad publicity coming back to haunt them, I guess, because they're kind of being programmed to like not like this movie because I'll get into this later, but the main narrative is that this movie's like awful, dog shit, and at the end of the day, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
All
right, we'll save it there for now. Continue this after we talk about the movie. So very 1950s-esque kind of cinematography / set design /
Before we get into the movie, I just wanted to talk about the big thing that I thought was like what drew me into this whole thing.
Okay.
Harry Styles apparently spitting on Chris Pine.
Oh, I forgot about that shit. There's more publicity right there.
Yeah. And then, so the whole thing, I think the timeline of events was like Harry Styles not knowing how to conduct an interview. It was like, it's like you're watching yourself in a movie on the screen, and it's like it's a movie. Like I'm pretty sure that's like an exact quote. And then you just see Chris Pine. It's like the sad Affleck thing, where like just Chris Pine's just like staring, just dissociating, just like staring out into the middle of nowhere, just like I can't believe I'm working with this fucking idiot. And then I guess the memes blew up, and then Harry Styles at the premiere, he sat next to him. And he kind of like leaned over as if it looked like he was kind of like, holding his jacket or something. And he's about to sit down, and it looks like he spits on Chris Pine, like right between his legs. And then I know something happened because Chris Pine was like kind of reacting. He's like, laugh it off, Chris. Like, it's cool. And then apparently at a concert, he's like, I'm not sure if he was memeing about it, but Harry Styles is like, I came all this way to spit on Chris Pine or something like that. He could be joking.
I think it was a joke. Yeah.
I don't know. The one angle very much looks like he spits on him, and then the other one,
not so much.
Not so much, but it could be interpreted that way. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
I don't know. It's like it's Spitgate. I don't know.
Spitgate. Oh, God. Spitters or quitters, Danny. All right. So, okay. 1950s, 1960s-esque.
Right. So the actual movie.
Set design, movie style,
right.
Cinematography, very fucking good. That was
like the whole
highlight
vibe
of this movie is the goddamn cinematography. The guy that did Requiem for a Dream, Black Swan, Star is Born, he did all his movies as the DP. So
I remember Star is Born specifically had like even the opening was great.
Yeah.
Just the cinema how it was shot. But yeah, this movie has, I like the wide open, like especially the top down shot of the entire civilization or city or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like a spiral looking thing. Mm-hmm. That was really cool looking. And it really expressed like the kind of like 50s kind of
neighborhood
paper houses kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like they're all
manufactured houses type of thing. Yeah.
And maybe alluding to this world is manufactured.
I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows?
But yeah, the first kind of instance where we see something is weird is when Chris Pine's character Frank has a house party, invites everybody over, and one of Alice, Florence Pugh's character,
Her name's Margaret.
Margaret. Yeah, she kind of freaks out a little bit. She's like, "Oh, we shouldn't be here," or whatever. And then her husband pulls her aside or whatever. You know, it's like, okay, that was weird. And then they all just continue on as if it was nothing.
Yeah.
Then a little later, Alice sees what's going on. She sees Margaret and her husband talking, and Margaret again freaks out. She's like, "You gotta get out of here," or something like that, or something along those lines. And then the husband closes the blinds on her.
Yeah, she's like, "Just fuck off. You know, this is a private
This is
matter.
not important to you."
Yeah.
So basically,
She's like
Will's
haunted
being
by
made out to be crazy.
Yeah. So this
or
is like
emotionally unstable, that kind of thing.
I'm pretty sure this joke has already been made, but like you could just call this movie Gaslight the movie.
Fuck you! I said that in the theater.
You did?
Yeah, I said that in the goddamn
there we go.
theater.
Yeah. So
like this movie is just
or like Get Out for women.
Yes,
you know?
you said that one.
You know what I mean?
It kind of is that kind of thing. And yeah, like as we go along in this movie, it starts getting more and more like that. Like the fucking eggshells. What the fuck was that? First of all, the eggshells and the saran wrap thing. Like, what was the whole point of that?
I think it was just to show her mental decline. But looking back on it, knowing everything, I think that was just some sort of like, oh, it wouldn't be cool if she like just did this.
It made no sense.
Yeah, some things don't make sense.
Plot line that makes no sense, and that's the theme of this movie that I'm going to get into a little more later. Like then the plane. When Alice sees the plane, what was that?
Knowing what we know, how does that happen? Because it's a controlled environment. It's not a glitch in the Matrix, or they never explain it later.
No, because it looks like it's just like a bubble. Like they went throughout.
Yeah. There's a little like refracting. Is like it hits a bubble and then
a little reverberating,
and then it crashes, and then it's not there. But like
she gets up to the top of this mountain.
I'm thinking of like so. I mean, should we spoil it? Like the whole thing is that like it's.
So yeah, she's kind of.
It's a Matrix type world that she's stuck in, right?
Yes. We'll get into how she's stuck in that a little later.
Yeah, that's actually the really fucked up part for me. There, like, kind of gets me like those Get Out vibes, you know?
Yeah. So she's stuck in a simulation, a virtual reality, whatever you want to call it.
Created by Frank, Chris Pine's character, in the real world.
But that's
as a virtual
that's another
thing.
Weird thing we'll have to get into. So as we go along, Harry Styles, he works for this company called
The Victory Project.
The Victory Project, yes. And they kind of go off during the day. The wives are left home, to clean, cook, care for the men when they're home. The whole 1950s vibe of everything. And as the days go by, it starts getting more and more apparent that like she's like, what do you actually do? And stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like everyone's curious, like what do the men do when they go off to work? And what it turns out to be is that they're exiting the Matrix.
Yep.
Because they can.
Yes.
And then they're living their real lives
and
outside of this.
Cannot live their real lives.
Right.
And it's like, that's fucked.
Yeah, the women are forced into this.
Well, not all of them.
Not all of them, but
yes.
for the majority,
they don't know what's going on.
They don't even know what's happening. They've been hypnotized,
kidnapped, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever, placed in this
1950s perfect
utopia.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's the whole theme is saying how like the arrogance of men to think what a woman wants.
Yes.
And then making that happen. And against their will. And like so like on paper you can see the gears turning in Harry Styles' character's brain. You could be like, well, our relationship sucks. I'm fucking doing nothing with my life. She's stressed out working 30-hour shifts. And
nurse. Yep.
We're just not living the life that we want, or at least that I want. And so he makes the decision for her where this is where he takes a wrong turn. He's like, oh, she doesn't like it either. So then he
finds out about the Victory Project.
Yeah. So it's subtly, but not so subtly being like those Andrew Tate type people who are like, or I even got like a little Jordan Peterson in there, where he's like the 12 rules for life, like live the life you want. He's an online media mogul, or giving confidence to men and showing them how to unlock their potential or something, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a pyramid scheme,
right?
But like for virtual reality,
right? So Frank convinces all these guys across the country to.
There's like 72 of them. I remember the number 72 couples or something like that. I remember.
Okay.
I remember that.
So basically, enslave their wives.
Yes.
To this virtual reality, and that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's really fucked up. And here, where's my other notes here? Yeah. So how do we get here? Like it seems like such a jump to go to the virtual reality route. It's like it's something that's kind of been done before. Mm-hmm. So it's nothing groundbreaking that they're doing in this movie.
What they're doing is they're mixing Matrix with Fight Club.
There's a lot of other movies in some of the reviews I looked at that are kind of referenced. I didn't write them down, but neither were those two.
Oh, really? I just watched a breakdown of Fight Club because it's like, why do men like Fight Club? And it's because it's like Tyler Durden has a speech in there. He's just like, we're the middle children of the world.
Yeah.
Like, we have no purpose. And that's what I think the core of like Harry Styles is thinking. Like, he's thinking like, I have no purpose. I need to do something about it to get a purpose. That's why he's listening to this guy, Frank, who's trying to help him unlock that. And then when the cult leader thing takes place, Frank's like, all right, kidnap your wife. And he's like, all right, I'll do it. You know, and then subject her to this enslaved world that she thinks is a utopia. And, you know, so it's almost like ignorance is bliss. If she didn't know, she'd be cool.
Yeah. But she found out. She found out. She broke the Matrix.
Right.
And yeah, there's like, so this is the movies. It's Stepford Wives. That is a movie that has been, I've never heard of this movie, but apparently it's very similar to that, except it's with robots, I'm pretty sure, like robot clones of these women.
I've heard about it. It's, I've never seen it, but it's something like that, yeah.
Something like that, and then they also do mention, this one mentions The Matrix, and then The Truman Show is also in there, which also makes sense.
Yeah, we were talking about The Truman Show. This movie is sort of like Truman Show, where it's like, it's the whole first act of, you know, of The Matrix.
Yeah, exactly. So. And yeah, it also kind of reminds you a little bit of like a Black Mirror type episode. Like it's got that whole vibe to it.
Because it's got the technology aspect where like the thing shit on their eyes and stuff.
Yeah. It's so like in theory, everything is very cool and like a lot of cool aspects in this movie, but nothing too fleshed out. Like it's all there, but nothing is nothing like is dove into. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
It kind of falls flat.
It's half-baked, a lot of half-baked ideas not mixed together completely, and then it was marketed as the next thing or the best thing since sliced bread. You know what I mean? It's like, by Olivia Wilde.
That controversy.
Yeah, and then the controversy built it up, and this movie is like, I remember some people were like, oh, it's bad to be memeing about this movie because it's going to deter people from going to see movies like this, and this movie's like the savior of like the independent thriller or some shit. Which is like, I understand the want for more smaller budget thrillers, adult movies and stuff, but like you can't be treating, because at the end of the day, it's just a movie. You know what I mean? It's not. You can't go out of the gate saying this is going to be amazing.
Yeah,
and then. It's because it's never going to live up to the expectations. What is, like, I can't think of a single movie that has like been like, this is going to be amazing, and then it was amazing. Everything has always started off low key, and then
Infinity War.
Okay, maybe, yeah, it lived up to expectations, but it didn't exceed them.
Yeah.
But like Star Wars, Breaking Bad, other I don't know.
Wait, did you just say Breaking Bad didn't live up to expectations?
No, Breaking Bad started off with super low expectations, blew the fucking top off of everyone.
Wait a minute. I'm like, Dan, that's like your favorite show. What are you talking about?
No. Yeah, it's great. That's what I'm saying. But like saying that this movie is gonna be that it's never gonna be that unless you're Infinity War, I guess. You know what I mean? That's like the one exception.
Yeah.
So I think this movie was
Unless
doomed
you're
from
a
the start.
superhero movie that has crossover potential,
Yeah.
like Deadpool 3.
I'm excited for that, yeah.
Very excited for Deadpool 3. Yeah, so the other thing I had... So, okay, first of all, if a male dies in that virtual reality, he dies in real life.
Because nobody can plug him back in.
What about the women? Would they die too?
No, because the man can. Because remember, like I'm not sure how every other scenarios, but she's tied down to the bed with the shit on her eyes. She can't do it herself.
Okay. Oh.
He's not. So when she dies in the thing, actually no, you're right. When she dies in the Matrix, yeah, I think it's
She would die too.
yeah. When she wakes up, that's what happened in like the first like half hour or whatever. When she goes to search for the plane and shit, she wakes up, she hits the thing. Then Harry Styles is like, oh shit, she's up. Plug her back in. You know.
Got
so
it.
yeah, I imagine if she dies, she's probably dead. You know.
Got it. So, all right, then that also leads to like Frank and
that was a weird thing at the end with him and his wife. That was like a kind of like a.
So now his wife's taking over. It's like
I'm not sure. Does she want to run the whole thing?
it sounds like she wants to run the whole thing.
Because she's like, now it's my turn. Something.
Yeah, that's another half-baked idea. Like, yes, sequel potential, but like, who the fuck wants to watch a sequel of this movie? Like, I thought it was half-baked at best. This movie is not everything it's cracked up to be.
Yeah.
It's not bad by any means. Like,
I'm not gonna buy it though.
exactly, it looks fantastic. The set design, cinematography, all the production aspects are really well done. Most of the acting performances, like, I have this written down. Florence Pugh, top tier, fantastic. Oh my god. Chris Pine, great.
Harry Styles.
Styles.
Okay.
I said so. He actually wasn't too bad. Like, I know you alluded to this a little earlier. Like, you didn't hate his performance, but you didn't love it. Like, it was still a little goofy.
I was under the impression the entire time watching the movie he was supposed to have an American accent. I'm like, wow, that's the worst American accent I've ever heard because it sounds kind of wishy-washy back and forth.
Yes.
But then halfway through the movie, the doctor says, like, how do you Brits do blah, 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 or whatever. So he's supposed to be British.
And then it also said, like, when he was creating his account on the Victory
Right,
Button,
his nationality.
he chose British. Yeah, so
Which
like,
I guarantee was not in the first draft of the script.
No.
There's no way. Harry Styles just couldn't do an American accent like frequently or like hold it for a long time. And then Olivia Wilde's just like, all right, fuck it.
that's why he's going in and out in like the anger scenes. It's like, it's weird. It comes off as crazy, but it also is it's goofy. Like it ruins a decent anger scene. Like he has a really good anger scene with Florence Pugh towards the end of the movie, but it's kind of ruined by the fact that he's had a few other ones in the movie and it was kind of really stupid. So
yeah, and like I think the cringiest scene in like it's sad when a movie has cringy scenes, because it's like this movie's like you're supposed to take it seriously.
Yeah,
but when he like gets the I don't know what you call them, the mover men. Like the red jumpsuit guys, he's like to take her away to give her the treatment or whatever to reset her. Oh, he's like, just how he says, he says it like it's a way too long of a scene in my opinion, and I think it ruins it.
That's another thing I want to fucking figure out. What do the red suits do? Who are they? Why are they there?
I don't know.
It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, they're literally red shirts.
Are they like? What the fuck is this? Like gatekeepers? I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know.
It's another plot point that makes no sense.
I think, ironically, this movie might work better as like a miniseries.
I saw some people talk about that in some of the reviews, and I'm like,
because it's like a big enough world to flesh out, but not enough to like do like 5 seasons for.
Yeah, they could do like a miniseries, like a 6, 7, 8 episode thing.
Yeah.
That could work because they could dive into the characters a little more. They could dive into the world a little more, and maybe the writing wouldn't fall so flat in this movie.
Yeah, because there's just a lot of shit that like the kid. I know it's like briefly mentioned, but like the kids aren't real. You have people like Bunny, who
Olivia Wilde's character.
she signed up for this. So this makes me wonder: is Nick Kroll on board with it too, or like because that's her husband?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know.
That's another like
because I guess she lost her kids.
That's thrown in at the end. Like
it's like, oh, I can see my kids. Like, oh, so that's weird. So that's a whole other aspect of
that's sad as shit. But like, like, oh, they're real here to me. I'm like, oh, that's fucking weird. But okay, why didn't we know about this earlier? Like,
but that would be like a cool kind of like mini episode you could do. Be like, her kids,
like flashback thing.
You do like a whole episode of like because I'm watching Dahmer, and there's a whole episode explaining this guy named Tony. He's deaf. Just from his perspective, then he meets Jeff at a bar. That's a whole episode. So you could do the same thing with Bunny, and have her kids die in the beginning. She's depressed. She finds Frank. She convinces Nick Kroll. I forgot his name, but to go into this thing, and it could comment. You could delve in deeper to the commentary of like some people want to escape their real life so badly, which is like why I think The Sims is such a popular game. They can design a perfect world for themselves,
Yes, it's an escape from reality, like a video game. It's just a different type of video game. You can create your whole little world like this, and it's good for about 2 weeks, and then I'm done for like 8 months. So like that's it's just it's a nice little escape to see. Like
it's a vacation.
Yeah, exactly. Right. A vacation, just something to numb your mind. It's like a racing game or a sports game. It's like just something you can build something out of a team or a person or something like that. It's one of those things. Yeah.
The main kind of theme about this is like the, I saw it coming right from the trailer, but the misogyny of men towards women. And it's like gaslighting women and the plight of the woman, right? In the same way that Fight Club was the plight of men.
Yes.
And I think it was just it wasn't way too heavy-handed, but like to a certain degree, I'm like, I get it,
No, I think it was done enough to where you get the point.
Oh yeah, I got the point.
I don't think it was overdone. Like
I think it's like if overdone is like 200%, I think it was like 150% overdone. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I got it, and I'm like, you're going a little far with it.
But again, it was only a 2-hour movie, so it had a good runtime. Like I was interested the whole time in this movie. I'm like, what was going on until the last act? But like I was like, how is this working? Like, how does this work? How does this work? Like, it makes you ask questions, which often makes you think more about the movie, and that's a good thing in some ways. But in this case, like,
it opens up a lot of doors, doesn't close enough.
It doesn't seem like there's going to be a sequel at this point, unless it makes like a shitload of money.
It's not gonna because of the controversy which is
also
unfortunate.
It could because of the controversy. It'll make a lot of money. People go see it.
You saw our theater. It was like 5 people in it.
Yeah, it was also a Tuesday at 4 p.m.
I guess you're right.
Or 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Not even
it was 1 p.m. Yeah.
Bro.
Maybe. Who knows? It could be a really big blockbuster. I know that one of our coworkers, he works at a movie theater, and he's like, oh, don't go. He's telling his friend, don't go at this time because it's going to be packed. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a little weird. I don't see it being a super blockbuster movie.
No.
But like,
it made $20 million opening weekend, about thereabouts, and I don't know how much. Here, let me look what the budget was. It's a $20 million opening weekend. That's not terrible. I mean, especially for this time of year, there's not many big September movies that ever really come out.
I honestly can't gauge like box office openings.
Oh, here's what it was. So
stuff.
Made just under $20 million opening weekend. Budget was $20 million. It made back its budget already.
Okay, well, that's good. So that's great. That's great for $20 million for this movie. Wow.
And that's in only the U.S.
Because I just heard The Munsters by Rob Zombie was $40 million, and it like looks like shit.
Yeah. Well, it was 30. Okay, so 31 million globally. It's already made back half its budget, more than half its budget. So towards a second movie.
Good on that. I mean, who knows? We might,
I don't know if Florence Pugh will sign up for it.
Well, like we said,
her story's done, but maybe
they could do other things in this world.
Because Chris Pine isn't done yet. Oh, he actually is, but they could do stuff with what's her face, Gemma Chan's character. But
yeah, like they're teasing that. I just think
see how she would run it.
This is
as
like
a woman.
This is maybe that'd be a really cool concept. Because then you could dive into the theme of like how, because like I mean I'm not a woman, but I know there's a lot of talk behind like women supporting women, right? And then there's a lot of people a lot of women who shut down that kind of idea.
Or maybe what she turns the world into. Maybe it's not this. Maybe it's something completely different. Like she
enslaves men.
Well, maybe not even that. Maybe it's just like maybe, but you never know. Like it's always a possibility. And
yeah.
It also doesn't seem like Olivia Wilde's a sequel type of person. Like she'd make a sequel. She might just make like one-offs. But she's only made 2 movies, so I can't really say that.
People like her.
Yeah.
I'm not like blown away like I was with Jordan Peele. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, this movie has like the kind of it's counting its eggs before they hatch, right?
Yeah.
You got the cold aspect, you got the obviously the thriller aspect where they're kidnapping women. That's like the main point of this movie. But then you got Gemma Chan's character. Then you have like the kids disappearing. You have Olivia Wilde's character being like wanting to go into this. So there's a lot of different stuff you could dive into. A lot of good material just wasn't brought to a certain point to where it would be good. You know.
Agreed.
It's like mashed potatoes in a movie.
Yeah. Overall, as I've already said my piece on this movie, it's got a lot of potential, but it just didn't act on any of it. Like, and so much left unexplained, which again, good sequel bait, but it wouldn't really make sense when the characters are dead or have escaped.
Yeah.
So, in the plane thing, that plane thing was so stupid.
Yeah, the plane thing's stupid. That makes no fucking sense in the context of what we know.
God.
So, like, answer a question, you know?
Like,
but I don't know.
Maybe she could have seen like numbers in the sky, like the Matrix, so it would look like that. It would be kind of virtual. That would make more sense than a fucking plane.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my gripe with it. I'm going to give this movie a 76. It's good, not great.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it like 78.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I was entertained. I'm not gonna buy this. If I had to watch this again, I might. Or I would. But like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, don't worry, darling, and it's on Netflix or something. I'm not gonna be like, oh, let's watch that. You know?
Yeah.
So
actually, most likely it would be on HBO Max because it's a Warner.
It's a Warner Brothers
property. Yeah.
Then I'm definitely not gonna watch it on HBO. I only watch Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon on HBO.
And Harley Quinn.
I don't watch Harley Quinn.
You don't watch Harley Quinn?
Everyone says it's really good.
I've only seen the first season, so it's good.
I guess I'll watch it. I don't know.
But anyway, speaking of things we're watching right now, you talked about Dahmer.
Yeah, I'm watching Dahmer right now.
I'm on episode 7. I'm gonna watch the rest of my plane when I go to San Diego this week. And I am loving it. But there's also some controversy around it, like where the real families and everything didn't get notified, but they don't have to since they're technically adults. So like it's
oh, that's kind of
and they didn't get paid for it either, which also is kind of like they're not painting them in a bad picture, I don't think, but it's making them relive all these memories and they didn't know anything about it.
The trauma that could be brought up from something like that.
See, I get that. But then I'm also like, this show is pretty fucking good.
No, it's great. It's a rare W for Ryan Murphy, because as people who know me, I hate him.
Yeah, he didn't direct it or anything or write it. He just created it. And now they have this other, Netflix does the actual documentary things. Like they're doing a confessions thing now with Jeffrey Dahmer, Joel Berlinger. So he's the one.
Oh, he's the guy who did the other one?
Yeah, what's his name? The other serial killer.
Ted Bundy one, right?
Yeah, Bundy. Yeah. He did that. I think he did John Wayne Gacy as well.
I saw the advertisement for that one too.
Yeah, so he's doing all those now, and I'm like, oh, they're doing like a real life confessions one, and then like a dramatized version, which I like that idea that they're going with these shows. And so far, most of them have been really good. Like the Ted Bundy one was awesome. I think this one's a little better so far, but I haven't gotten to the end yet, so I can't say that.
Yeah. I thought you were going to bring up the, what's his name? Tracy Edmonds? The guy who gets him caught. His last potential victim.
Oh, I don't remember his name.
The guy right in the beginning.
Yeah.
He apparently has just been arrested for killing a homeless man.
Really?
20 years later to the date, or to the day.
30.
Oh, 30?
91.
I was 90. Yeah, so super close
Yeah.
in the time period. And like, while this thing is happening in the pop culture, it's just really weird.
Huh.
Yeah.
How about that?
The family thing, though, that's really shitty. I think the studio should pay them some
Or
sort of
just
revenue.
Acknowledge something like,
Or like donate to their.
I don't
'cause I
think
assume
they
they have donations for charity and causes and stuff. Yeah.
or well, like the one woman who spoke up, like she's older now. She's not okay with it, but like she understands. But the other families who went through this, they knew nothing about it either, and she's just kind of speaking up for them. So
Yeah.
it makes sense.
A little fucked up, in my
It's
opinion.
a little fucked up.
I'm also watching House of the Dragon.
Also watching Andor.
Which the episode came out as of filming this. The episode came out today. I don't think we're out of time to watch it.
I watched like half of it.
I didn't even start it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're watching that one too. I am
Digging it.
currently a fan of Andor. I'm very surprised because as anyone who's watched this podcast, I've been down on pretty much every Disney Star Wars
Except for
property.
Rogue One.
Rogue One, I agree, is the best Disney. Looking back, so when that movie came out in 2016, I didn't want to love it as much as I did. Because I'm like, I love Force Awakens so much, and at the time it was kind of like it was kind of a battle between the solo stories and the trilogy, right? So I'm like, I'm putting my money on the trilogy because how could they fuck that up? Little did I know.
Little did you know, Last Jedi was right around the corner.
Yeah. I remember literally being like, Rian Johnson, he has like he's so fucking. I love Looper, I love Brick. This is gonna be great. An intellectual version of Star Wars. That's gonna be interesting.
Now we're kind of getting that now with Andor, though. Like
we're getting like I like the
slow burn.
The slow burn, and it's down to this individual like worker level of Star Wars. It's not like the Skywalker family or like the Sith or Jedi. It's the normal people.
We're seeing different things, and in this episode that you're going to see, they actually go to a familiar planet. I'm not going to say which one, but it's cool to see it again.
They mentioned Wobani in the last episode, which was an anagram for Obi-Wan, if you didn't know. Yeah, right? Yeah. So maybe that one. But if it's fucking Tatooine again, I'm going to be pissed.
I said one we haven't seen in a long time, Danny.
Okay, cool. Is it Hoth? Is it Hoth? I'm excited for Hoth.
No, but it's been in the trailers.
Cool. Okay.
You can probably guess from there.
I love an Andor, loving House of the Dragon. The latest time jump. The last episode was a little fast paced. There's a lot you got to cram in there. But overall, my experience of watching the show week to week, I'm genuinely excited to watch it every week, and that's something I can't say for any other show really. Andor I can wait a little bit on, but
honestly,
I'm still watching it.
She-Hulk has been that show for me right now. I'm excited to watch every episode so far. I know you haven't given it a chance.
I just haven't given it a chance, and everyone at work says I should definitely give it a shot, but I'm like, the Megan Thee Stallion thing and the fucking...
Just don't think about it. I didn't it's a post-credit scene. Like, it's not even anything.
I know,
worthy.
it's sad that we've gotten to that point where we're introducing a real life celebrity to twerk with with this horribly CGI'd. You can't excuse the CGI.
In certain scenes, yes, it's kind of campy and kind of uncanny valley. But most of it, for the most part, is really good on the CGI of She-Hulk. So, especially for a TV show, most of it's very well done. Especially
I've just seen some things where he's like, you don't know what it's like to be this angry because I get catcalled, and you're talking to Bruce fucking Banner.
Okay.
Who lost his life to this fucking gamma disease, tried to kill himself, fucking banished himself to another planet for years. You know what I mean?
It shows how even though they have the same blood, they still have different ways of how this affects them. And I guess, hey, she doesn't...
Fine.
Hey, they spend time on it, though. So, it's not like it's just like a snap like that. Like,
snap?
It kind of is. But
do they involve the snap at all in the show? Or like any repercussions for it?
Honestly, not really. I think this is the first show that doesn't really acknowledge the snap or anything so far, which is fine, honestly. We've gotten enough of that in Phase 4.
I don't know. I would still like to see like a regular story about like revolving around the snap.
Well,
the
considering what
entire
we're
thing.
getting, I don't think we're getting that.
No, because they want to move on. They want to
got-
like forget. It messes up the timeline really like a lot. And they're introducing multiverse. We're onto this new story.
We got Werewolf by Night coming next.
I don't even know what that's about. What is that?
It's like it's directed by Michael Giacchino, so I'm really excited about that.
Okay, we'll see if he has any directing chops.
Apparently, as of filming today, it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. So,
How many reviews? Do you know? 10. Okay.
but hey, that's not bad considering.
That's pretty good. You know?
And it's very different. It's kind of like a horror type deal. It's gonna be like 50 minutes. And I don't know. It's all black and white. It looks kind of like a murder mystery type thing, and I'm kind of excited for that.
I'm more excited for Secret Invasion, if I'm being honest.
That's Phase 5. We're not there yet.
I'm so excited for that.
I am too.
They were talking Marvel. Secret Invasion is my number one. I had no hope for that, and then the trailer's like, what the fuck? This is crazy awesome.
You're also kind of excited for Wakanda Forever. Don't lie.
Okay, yes. It's hard to explain that one because obviously Chadwick Boseman died. Production has been literal hell for this movie. But the trailer looked fucking awesome. Like I keep saying,
First trailer, yeah.
the first trailer I think it deserves some sort of award. If there are there trailer awards for anything like big ones, because like it definitely deserves something. Because like that movie or that trailer gets me hyped for the movie, even knowing everything I know about the behind the scenes production of it.
And there's also a rumor out there that it's gonna be like the longest solo movie in the MCU. So like not longest non-Avengers movie. So like
Okay,
longer than Eternals. So like by 2 minutes, but it's saying 2 hours 40 right now. It's saying, and that kind of makes sense, honestly, because they got to deal with the death of Chadwick Boseman and everything.
yeah, I bet you the whole first hour is just dealing with T'Challa's death or something.
I'd say probably half hour to 45 minutes. Yeah.
I wonder when they're going to introduce Namor. Who's going to be the Black Panther? Is it going to be Shuri? Is it going to be some new person? Are they going to recast him? What are they going to do? You know?
Yeah. There's so many options it could be. We're not going to get into that. We don't have time for that.
Yeah.
But that's the rest of Phase 4. So, and then technically the Guardians holiday special, which I'm kind of low key excited for.
I heard that the cast think that's the best James Gunn thing he's ever done.
I'm excited.
So
for
I'm
that.
like, okay. Yeah,
But hey, Guardians 3 ain't done yet. It ain't done yet.
I'm excited for that one too.
I'm so excited for that one. Anyway, we got to stop talking about Marvel here, because we can talk about Marvel all day. But yeah, so that's it for us. We're Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok with the handle at Seen It Beforecast. That's SCENE, It Beforecast. Give us a like and follow on YouTube, and we're also available on Twitter, SIB_pod. I'm Dan.
I'm Danny. You can find me on Instagram at Danny_Was. My Letterboxd and Serialized, because I'm doing TV now, also at DJ Was. And my YouTube channel, which is just Danny Was. And the CG is probably gone, but whatever. So yeah, that was Don't Worry, Darling. So
Don't worry, darlings. We're back for season 5. Not going anywhere. I'm making that joke twice, baby. Twice. See you guys next time.